thing.
Yeah, can I explain what we're
Yeah, go for it. Oh, yeah,
people
sure.
just listening?
Uh-huh.
The title of the Reddit post is "You Know What to Pick," and it says 5 people are going to die either way, but if you flip the lever, the trolley will do a sick fucking loop first. And also, the top comment is a question saying, which I think is also part of the dark humor that's successful.
Oh, man.
Can I get the gender and ethnic backgrounds of the groups first? And the top answer is both groups are each comprised of 5 white, orphaned, cis male, heavy meth users who are consistently in and out of drug rehab, all who identify as right wing extremists.
Humor is it's such a sophisticated thing that we engage in. Humor is like really complicated. But I would argue that like hopefully the humor here shows the virtue of like, this is obviously horrible, but that's kind of why it's funny. It's funny because it's such a horrible question to ask. Like, do we kill 5 people in a boring way or in a really entertaining way? And it's like, that's really. And then when you ask even more, like, what are the ethnic backgrounds? Like, that's even worse to say that, you know? So I feel like that's like the type of, there's a way that you can engage with dark humor where it's like, oof, like, it's funny because it's so wrong and so taboo.
Well,
and we all know that it's wrong and taboo. And that's kind of where the shared laugh comes from.
So for me, the question that asking the diversity question is a sophisticated way of revealing the absurdity of asking about diversity when it's talking about human life.
Oh, interesting. Because the way that I took that was, I think it reveals the absurdity of how people will weigh different ethnic backgrounds so differently when it comes to value of human life. Like, I'm actually thinking of that in terms of like an immigration related question where people are really keen and quick to dehumanize like black or brown people. So like the question is like, well, if 5 of them are brown and 5 are white, well, I know which one I'm going to, you know, pull the lever for. That's how I read that.
But it's satirizing that aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, of course. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's the flaw. To me, at least, it showed that humanity or social networks that are easy to be outraged and love the outrage and the chaos, that Twitter and social networks will pull that lever. Like they would always try to maximize the fun. And there's like there's a sick aspect to all the atrocities, all the tragedies that happen in the world, that we kind of always lean towards the outrageous narrative weaved around it. The one that leads to sort of the most clicks, to the most attention, to the most outrage, to all that all that kind of stuff. So that's almost like a satire of society. When they are faced with tragedy, they will maximize. I'm trying to think of a word that's not fun, but
entertainment.
Maximize the entertainment. Yeah.
This is a big criticism I give, especially to conservative crowds. Left-leaning people, everybody doesn't. I don't like when people blame the media for the state of the media today. I very much believe that everything in society is a feedback loop, and that if you're really unhappy with the state of the media, I think that the media is a good reflection for what people want to see. Because there is a room right now in the United States where somebody could start a company where all they do is completely factual reporting. They don't have a political slant, and they're not giving you these like sensationalist narratives or stories, and that media company would fail in 2 weeks because people don't want to see that. Generally, people really want to see the like, show me the guy that really believes in what I say, that calls the other guy an idiot, the guys that are screaming on TV or on the radio, like, this is what I really want. And people will engage in that, and that feedback loop will continue for generations. And then all of a sudden people are like, why is the media so biased? Why is the media driving so many narratives? And it's like, well, what do you mean? This is exactly what you want to see. And that's frustrating for me. That's one of my big kind of, when I defend establishments or when I talk about like the interplay between citizen and all these institutions we have, that the institutions are very much a reflection of the population, at least in democratic societies. And I think that people very much try to elude the personal responsibility or the country's responsibility to why some of them look the way that they do.